Hello everybody and welcome to the July 4th, 2018 edition of the Ephrom Josine Show. I am your host, Ephrom Josine. We have a little bit of some updates to give you later in the show, but until then, we're just gonna break down some news like we always do. Now, of course, today is July 4th. And it is Independence Day. The day where we honor our Constitution, we honor our Bill of Rights, we honor all of that. Let me tell you, I am actually currently honoring ICE, aka the Immigration Custom Enforcement, as weird sources points out. Democrats, which, no, they aren't Democrats, they are open borders supporters. You can also call them people who are anti-America being sovereign. Or, if you want, you can just call them good old-fashioned communists. I'm personally fine with any of those. Protest ICE while they bust a human trafficking ring. That's the thing I ever tell you about ICE. They always tell you, oh, it puts kids into camps. They're the exact same. They're basically Nazis. One, no they don't. That's very dishonest. And two, they're also busting human trafficking, so forgive me if I'm willing to sacrifice, criminal parents not being able to be around children who they used and put into a jail, not a camp, a jail, if it also means we can bust down on human trafficking. Anyway, originally, one of the plans was to go through all the shows on the Daily Wire and talk about their 4th of July specials, if you will. However, none of them did a show today. Ben Shapiro didn't, Michael Nolis didn't, Andrew Klavan didn't, and Matt Walsh hasn't done one in like a week, so who really cares? Well, I do. Don't worry, Matt. I care about you. However, this is unlike me, who is currently doing a show on the 4th of July. And I'm going to prove right now I am a bigger patriot than anyone at the Daily Wire. Because not only, I've shown this before on the show, but I own a copy of the United States Constitution. As you can clearly see. I'd recommend, by the way, picking this up if you ever see it. It's a really good read. But I have an American flag right next to me. And you occasionally see... I can't get this in the shot because I'm so close to the camera without it looking really awkward. Now it looks more like it's poking me. It's poking me right now. And you can't even see it. I can't put it there, and I'm worried this thing is gonna rip. It's a little harder to see than I would personally like, and even then, I want it to be in full view. I do. This is the one day of the year I have an American flag on the show. I want it to be in full view. You know what? That's close enough. Okay. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. But anyway, yeah, not only do I have an American flag on my show, which no conservative podcast did today, because most of them didn't do anything today. Because they don't share the Ephrom Josine Show's work ethic, if you will. But I am making a major update on the 4th of July. You see, starting with episode 50 of the Ephrom Josine, or episode 51 of the Ephrom Josine Show, basically episode 50 will be the last one to not have this. We will be moving the Ephrom Josine Show over to the Ephrom Report YouTube channel. Yes, I created a YouTube channel specifically for the Ephrom Report now. A link to it will be in the description of all my videos. Until the move, Equestria Redacted will stay here though, because I figured as a pony show, I'm gonna move all the reporting and all the news stuff there, and I will have other commentators like I'm trying to do with Ephrom Report blog right now, which you can see at ephromjosine.blogspot.com. And you can currently find a channel at youtube.com/channel/UCTYY. It will just be a link in the description. Because also, apparently, for reasons I will not understand, they won't just let me get a custom URL for a certain period of time. Don't know how that's going to cost them anything, but okay. It's a work in progress, as seen by the fact that I've done literally nothing with it. As you can see, like, the channel art's all blank and all that. I'm working to get that, don't worry. And by the time I do actually move it there, it will start actually a week from now. So this is going to be the last week you see on the Ephrom Josine show on Ephrom Josine. There will be stuff to fill up all of that. Do not worry. I promise you that right now. But you see, this is how much I love my country, is I felt the need to do an update on my country's most important holiday. But you know what? In honor of the 4th of July, we're still gonna make fun of Ben Shapiro. Let's make fun of him for a little longer. And you see, Ben found a poll recently that claimed that a third of Democrats, less than a third in fact, identify as being extremely proud of being an American. But wait, what does extremely proud mean in this context? Say you believe America is a solid A country, not an A plus, but a solid A. Would that be extremely proud, or is it that plus that makes all the difference? Well, that varies from person to person. As such, doing a poll where you put words like extremely in there are, of course, going to bias the results and typically make it so they're meaningless. They are meaningless. For that matter, did they break it into separate categories? I don't know. Shapiro never clarified that. How many Democrats just said they were normal proud? How many said they weren't proud? I don't know any of this, by the way, because I only heard of this poll when I was looking for something to make fun of for the 4th of July, and I just picked Shapiro's show. I legitimately first heard of this poll like 20 minutes ago. And I still have more of a word. Okay, I'm done with that joke. But Ben actually came up with a different idea, one that's obviously far better, and it's Democrats only view America as America and not as a bunch of ideas, or something. He went into this rant about how America is actually founded on ideas and how Republicans notice that and Democrats just consider it the government. Yes, those Democrats, victims of linear time! What horrible people. I'm scared, Ben. I prefer non-linear time, personally. To any GOP strategist watching this, by the way, make that your slogan. Republicans, the party against linear time. You will win. Okay? But you know what? I don't feel like I'm really going to pick on Ben for this one. Because he is right. Linear time is a thing, and it isn't very good. Don't believe me? Wait 20 years. I'm too young to make that joke. Anyway. So, instead, we're just going to read some comments from Ben's fans. I mean, they have to be intellectuals. They are fans of Ben Shapiro, for God's sake. For instance, Poison Blade says, Democrats think of the country as the government. Yeah, that's kind of one of the most important aspects of a country. I mean, I think of North Korea as the government of North Korea. I think of, and to make it look like I'm not saying America's the exact same as North, I think of the UK as the government of the UK. I'm sorry. And there is cultural stuff in there, but that also is some influence typically on the government, but that's another story. Because they think of the government as their sugar daddy. Nothing else matters to them. No comment. Michael Edmondson says, society is falling into the trap that is righteous negativity. People feel righteous by pointing out any real or imaginary flaw they decide to see, no matter how big or how small that flaw is. They blow it up to show that they have the moral high ground. Those dang Democrats and their acknowledging bad things exist. What? I have no clue how to pronounce this. Invexus Miano Pax Americana says, the less white America becomes, the less proud people will be. I don't think I've ever had a conservative actively admit Americans are racist. I don't think Americans are racist, by the way. This guy seems to, if he thinks that there being too many brown people is what's going to cause us to start hating America. Anyway, that's it. I'm Ephrom, and good night.